All right, we are live. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I can't do it like Ty does it. Uh, he's got his whole picture perfect pitch down. But good morning, good night, good evening, good afternoon to everybody out there. Because I remember last year we had somebody in Africa at one point. So I don't know where you are around the world, but welcome. Glad to have you at Millionaire Man Cave every Tuesday night on RETV. Every Tuesday night at 6. No, I'm about to say 6:30 at 8:00. Damn it.
No, that depends on where you at. It depends on where you at, right?
Yeah, you know what? That's true. Thank you, John, Mr. PC. That PC is coming back from you. Yeah. But so I might.
We're gonna do are we gonna do the intro, or are we gonna do like the video? Are we gonna do the video?
Damn. Yeah. You know what? I didn't even look for that. I don't know.
We don't have to. We can just go straight into it.
I forgot all about that. Where is it, John?
It's all good. It's all good. So,
go ahead.
It's probably yourself, sir.
Yeah, I'm looking for the intro. I don't even know what band, because it wouldn't be a banner, it'd be something else. I don't know where it is. No. All right, so yeah, we're gonna have to skip that intro because I don't know where it is. And well, my intro then, this, like I said, it's Millionaire Man Cave. I'm Millionaire Mike, and tonight I am from Fort Worth to Charlotte. You know, I try to change it up every week. try to come up with a little something every week.
And I don't change mine. So it says Mr. Old Fashioned, but tonight I'm actually having a whiskey sour. So I'm doing something a little different. I should have changed it, but whatever. You know, I'm trying a little something different tonight. So we in here.
So yeah, it don't even matter. Look, Ty's peeping in. Ty, I don't know where the intro is, so we didn't play the daggone intro.
You know what? It's all good. It's all good. We're gonna make it
banners, but I didn't see videos. Anyway, yeah. So tonight with me, Donnell's gonna be a little late, but he said he's supposed to drop by. But on the screen right next to me is my man John from the DMV. How you doing, John?
I'm all right. I'm okay. You know, having my drink and my cigar. I think I might have a problem. And the problem is that I'm always having a drink and a cigar now. And
hey, it's a problem I wish I could have. Problem I wish I could have. Definitely.
Yeah, well, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Another Tuesday, you know, hanging out here. Happy, the weather is nice, can't complain, you know what I'm saying? I'm still outside, still in the tent though. I need to go ahead and decide whether I'm going to keep the tent up a little longer or take the tent down.
Wow.
But
why would you take it down? That's a nice setup you got, John.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I mean, at some point it's going to get too hot to have it up all the time. And it'll be nicer at night. It'll be like warmer in the evenings. But I can just be outside. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because I like the setup actually. I mean, if the air will come through it, I'd still keep it up.
I got a fan. Go ahead, put it up. Put up what you said. Put up what you said. I do have a fan. So I got a fan in here. I got a heater in here. The fan mostly is used for ventilation. Like blowing, like taking the smoke out, but I also have another fan that hangs from the ceiling, a small one that circulates air as well.
Hold up!
I didn't have that. I didn't have that one up. It's a little one.
Okay.
It's a little one. It's like a real small.
Okay.
But just keep the air circulating. So
for those of you who don't know, I got to kick it with John in his tent, his man cave tent, I guess you could call it, because he's got the whole thing set up nice. So what size?
Yes, I am. I is fancy. I is fancy
with the fan. But yeah, I mean, he's got a really nice setup in there. He's got space for 4 seating, had a TV in that joint, a heater. It was well ventilated, so we all had a cigar. I mean, it was nice.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Well, thank you, man. It's
and when you walk up on the tent, you're like, it ain't that big, but then once you get in there, it's a lot more space than you realize.
Yo, I honestly believe that, and I wish we could give houses to like all the homeless people, and I know that it probably is enough housing out there somewhere, but honestly, if they have to stay outside, if they live in warmer places, if they have a tent like the one that I have here, yeah, they got a nice space. And the only problem is that the weather gets a little rocky sometimes. You know what I'm
saying? What's this dude talking about now?
What is he talking about?
That's what she said. Look, we don't have Donnell to regulate our language tonight.
Right. So
he's the language cop.
So Mike, how you doing, man?
Oh yeah, I'm doing all right, dog. I was saying earlier before we got on, I had a couple of doctor's appointments today. It feels like I'm always going to the doctor because between the heart, the diabetes, those are the 2 main things. I got a couple other issues that tick in there every now and then, but it just feels like I'm always at the damn doctor. I get tired of going to the doctor, but it keeps me alive. So I'm good. I don't mind it that much.
Take care of yourself, man.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I oftentimes wonder if having a family is like it don't necessarily keep us from getting sick, but it also is one of those things where you can forget yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can forget yourself when you take care of your family, when you're trying to do everything for everybody else. You're running, you're not sleeping at night because you're up, whatever. You got babies, you got kids is out, in the streets, whatever. Like, it takes years off your life. I wonder people who don't have kids live long.
So it's funny you mentioned that. I don't know about having children, but I did find out a couple of months ago that women who men who are married, what is it? Women who are married live longer. Well, women live longer than men. But married, that's what it was. Single women live longer than married women. So even
if they got kids.
So I don't know about the kids thing. I don't know about the kid thing, but I did find that out a couple months ago that even though women live longer, the single ones typically live longer than the married ones. And that's crazy.
They live longer. They live longer alone. I don't know if that's better or worse.
the cat lady up the street.
Right. The cat's keeping her alive.
She's the one that skews all the statistics. Oh man! But look, you was talking about the houses for the homeless. That made me think about tiny houses because there was a show, a Disney show. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was Austin and Kate or whatever it was called. But they were building tiny houses for the homeless out somewhere in whatever city they were in. Or it might have been Liv and Maddie. It was one of them daggone Disney shows. But I thought that was really cool. So they were building tiny houses for the homeless. But I came across this tiny home in your area. Let me see if I could pull it up here.
Is this the one? I think I saw that. That John was.
You may have. I had to look at it myself.
It's skinny. You talking about the skinny one, right? Like
skinny house. Yeah. So I guess it's not the total tag or the correct tag is not tiny home. It's called a skinny home.
Yeah.
And that skinny home is worth $600,000.
Yo,
A 6 foot wide.
this the one in DC. Yeah.
Home.
Yeah. I saw that. This, you know what blows my mind about this kind of stuff? Go ahead and scroll up so you can see the house.
Oh yeah. Hold on. I actually pulled the house up on Zillow. Let me let me pull that up.
The thing that blows my mind is that a lot of these, like the row houses that's in DC, you know, for a long time, people, like white people, didn't want to live there at all. They thought it was dangerous. Like, you know, Southeast DC.
Because of the area? Oh, okay.
Because of the area, yeah. You know, Southeast DC. I was driving through Southeast the other day. You know, all the white people running, you know what I'm saying? They out there with their dogs, they hanging out. Like, you know, you remember that yeah, that John, that's crazy. You remember do you remember the prison that was over in Southeast by the cemetery?
Southeast. Nah, I just know about the
it's right over in Southeast. It used to be by
St.
the you know, okay, so you know where the
I know what St. E's is.
I don't know if you know what Eastern Branch Boys and Girls Club is.
No.
You know where RFK Stadium is?
Of course, yeah.
So RFK Stadium used to have a hospital next to it. It used to be it used to have a hospital, and next to the hospital was a jail. Right? Next to the jail is a cemetery. I was driving by there the other day. The cemetery got one of those big chairs out in front of it where you could take pictures.
Yeah. The big joint. Oh god.
Not that big chair. like one of them big Adirondack chairs. Like one of the big Adirondack chairs. So like they done turned it into a tourist attraction. Yo, this is crazy.
Wow.
I wish I took a picture of it. But this right here, this little skinny house, it's crazy. That's as big as it is, the whole thing.
Yeah, so it's 6 feet wide.
That's crazy.
And what he did was he in the living areas, he put like this bay window type of deal, so it like kicks out. So it's a little bit more space in the living areas, but technically it's a 6 foot wide home.
That's crazy.
And yeah, this is their patio. You can see the steps through the window there.
You gotta like walk sideways to get to the chair.
Yeah, it's not that bad though. Look, see. So this is coming in. This is on one side. This is coming in the front door. You have the kitchen.
Right into the kitchen.
Right into the kitchen. You got your little eating nook on the left, and you have full range of appliances there. You got your stove, sink, refrigerator, you know, microwave up top. So it's really not that bad.
It's like a railroad house.
I wouldn't want to live there, but you know, one of the reasons there's 600, other than the location, is they put in a lot of top grade amenities in there, like granite. I want to say the tiles are porcelain in one of the or in the bathroom or something like that. But you know,
so who is this house for? Like this for like a single person, a couple, no kids? Is it like?
So now we talk about why it was built, or who is it going to market towards for 600,000?
You tell me. Who? Why was it built? Why was it built first?
All right. So the guy, he's a contractor. He has a company in Virginia somewhere, and they bought him and his brother. I think either his brother or his brother-in-law. They bought this lot, and they were going to build on it. About, I want to say it was a couple of months after they bought it, the zoning restrictions and zoning laws changed after they bought it. And it called, I'd have to pull it up in the article, but it only gave space for a 6 foot blueprint. That's how the article wrote it.
Oh, wow.
A 6 foot blueprint. So they basically were like, you know, what are we supposed to do with this? And they got creative. And they made a 6 foot home, a 6 foot wide home.
That's crazy.
So that's how it came about. Look, so here's at the back end. This the the seating area. So like right here, can you see the finger moving in? This is the 6 feet, basically right here, and then it kicks out. The window area kicks out further, and this bay area for the window kicks back a little further. So I want to say he says it's like 10 feet in those living areas across.
Okay.
Yeah, but as far as schematics are concerned, it's 6 foot wide.
Because you couldn't sit 6 feet. Like the tent that I've sitting in is 10 feet across.
Okay.
And like, you know what I'm saying? If it was 6 feet across, you'd be touching the wall with your feet.
Right. Oh, so here's some of the bathroom. Let's finish scrolling through these pictures real quick. Here's the upstairs.
Do they have a shower in there? Do they what do you wash up in the sink? Is it like
it's a skinny shower too. Hold on. I'm gonna show that to you. So it's the bedroom. There it is. So
that's crazy.
Well, that's probably a 3 foot wide.
That's
and
crazy.
Probably 4. It's probably like 3 by 4. But and it's porcelain tile on the floor. So reading the article, wrap this up a little bit here. Even got a full washer and dryer in there.
Wow.
But reading the article, it said that the market would be probably a single person who doesn't want to leave much of a footprint is what they said. So for instance, they don't need a car because they're in the city. The house is a block away from the metro station. So, they don't need a car. They don't have any family, like to live in, single person, and they don't want a lot of space, which really is a lot of city folk, especially if you're coming from New York. Yeah. Let's say you travel down from New York, they have like studio apartments that's like 300 square feet.
You're right.
That people have to live in. So, I mean, there's a market. I'm gonna be trying to keep an eye on it. Right. I'm gonna be trying to keep an eye on it over the
see how long stay on the market kind of thing.
Yeah, it looks like it's already dropped once. They had it over 600, and now it's $599 for sale. So,
wow,
we'll see what happens.
It ain't for me. That ain't for me, for sure. I'm built wrong for that.
Exactly, me too. If I turn around, my stomach is touching the wall. I got that Homer Simpson gut.
Hey, Mike, did you watch the fight the other day?
No, somebody. I don't keep up with boxing anymore. Donnell's the boxing guy. And he normally tells me when to watch for something, and right. I didn't even know about it. Somebody asked me the other day when I was in the store if I watched the fight, and I was like, "Oh, who fought?" So was it a good one?
I didn't watch it. I can't believe I even asked about it because I ain't even watched it, but I heard about it. And I heard the Latino dude, which I can't remember his name. Shame on me. If maybe Donnell will get here, he'll say something about it. But that dude he was like the underdog. He wasn't supposed to win. And he ended up knocking out the black dude like 5 or 6 times. Knocking him down 5 or 6 times. Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
So we ain't got to talk no more about it because I don't know much about it. But he was like, nobody expected the Latino dude to win. So if anybody bet on him, they won big, basically. Like, so, and I ain't no betting man like that. I don't believe in putting my money on somebody else's decision. But
I told my son, he was visiting, or he wasn't visiting. He came home for a reason, but he was here last night, and we somehow betting came up, and I was like, I don't bet because every time I bet, I lose. I've never, like, out of 100 bets that I've made, either with friends lottery, casino. We're talking all across the board betting. Out of 100 times, I'll win twice.
Yeah, it ain't
out of 100.
I mean, but that's how they got it set up, right? It ain't set up for you to win.
It's a waste of money for me.
Right. It ain't set up.
Well, like I said, we talk about all kinds of bet. Like even, like I said, friendly wagers between a game. You know, the pool, the NFL pool every Sunday that you know my frat does. You know, I put money in and I don't win. I remember when I was in high school, John. This is when I figured it out that I should not be gambling. Because we used to gamble hard in high school. We used to play tonk every day, like during lunch or whatever. Tonk for money, and we used to flip dollars.
Flip dollars?
Yeah. You never see that?
Not quarters?
Well, yeah. We graduated from quarters and went to dollars. But yeah, same thing, same principle. You match it to win. If you don't match it, you lose.
So wait, was it like the whole dollar, or did you fold a dollar up first?
No. You just kind of crease it a little bit, like a triangle kind of, and you just kind of like tip it as you let it drop, and it floats down, spinning.
Yeah, no, I'm good on that. That one seemed like okay.
But the reason I brought it up is I would be playing tonk and just winning hand after hand after hand. As soon as I put some money on it, I lose.
Yeah.
It never failed. I don't care how much I was winning a game. Once I put money on it, I lose. So I realized that I should not gamble because it'll be a bad habit for me.
So speaking of habits or vices or whatever, like, would you say that you currently have any habits or vices, things that you like? Some people gamble, you know what I'm saying? Some people like they work out all the time or whatever. Like, what would you say? Would you say you have one at all?
Before my heart, condition got diagnosed, it was smoking cigars. That really, and drinking. So whiskey and cigars, as you lift your glass, toke your cigar. That was my vice. I enjoyed it. It brought me a peace, like just to be able to just immerse myself in enjoying the whiskey and enjoying the cigar. I might play some music. I'm not even watching TV or anything. I might scroll through Facebook and do some mind-numbing, just nonsense. But it was a piece that was all mine. Nobody else was involved in it, in my family at least. I would joke around for my wife to come smoke a cigar with me, but she never would. But it was a piece that I enjoyed, and that was my vice. And then once the heart failure came around, they was like, you need to stop smoking and drinking. But then they gave me back to drinking. And it says stay away from the cigars.
So, I mean, I get that. I understand that. But I think this is what I'll tell you, is that you got to find something that's for you. You know what I'm saying? I know some people, they like to sit and read, or they like to sit and listen to music, or they like to go for a drive or whatever. Like, I think you do have to find something that is for you. You're going to have to fill that space with something else. And I'm not saying it got to be, obviously, you don't want something that's bad for you. You know what I'm saying? But you got to find something that's for you, I think.
You're right. And as you said that, you made me think. My commute. So I used to work about 45 minutes from my job. It was like 40 minutes with no traffic. But of course, it was rush hour that I would be going and coming. And so it would take, between 45 minutes to an hour most days.
Right.
I always enjoyed my commute because I would just sit in traffic. I wouldn't worry about anything. Like, I made sure I left early enough that The traffic wouldn't make me late. So I didn't worry about rushing and playing the traffic. And I just listen to music. I listen to music. I had a playlist every day. Like I remember in Facebook, I saw that one morning I was listening to gangster rap, on my way to work. I was like, I'm gonna have to go to work and smack somebody today. But that was something that was like a solace for me that I don't have anymore because I work from home now. I don't commute. So I don't have those long drives anymore either. So it's interesting that you say that. I gotta find something.
You gotta find something, you know what I'm saying? It might be books on tape, it might be, something. Because I think that it's important that we all have something that's for us, right? Like a time for us to kind of, separate and do what we need to do just for our peace of mind.
You're right.
Otherwise, everything that you end up doing is all wrapped up in somebody else, right? And that's hard. If everything that you do is wrapped up in somebody else, I always think about it like this: what's going to happen one day if, God forbid, my wife died, and it's just me by myself? And the same thing go for her, right? Like, what does she do for her? Like, it can't be wrapped up in the kids. She got to find something for her too. I think people,
right.
I think that's one of the things that people don't think about enough, especially when we start having families. Like, what is for us? Like, what do we keep for ourselves?
So let me ask you, John, what's your thing?
I mean,
what's one or two of your things?
So for a long time, it was video games.
Okay.
That was a big thing for me. I love video games. And it's fallen off, not as much now. But I do like to, when I can ride by myself, which is very rare now, I love to listen to books on tape.
Okay.
So not books on tape, but like audio books, right?
Right. So I've done that too on those commutes that gave me a 45 minutes to listen to a book too. So
right. Or now I like to listen to podcasts as well, like different podcasts. But
I've never been into podcasts for some reason.
Well, you just got to find the right one. So there's a show I listen to. It's called My Mama Told Me, and it's a podcast. It's two black guys, and they talk about conspiracy theories in the black community.
Okay,
it's hilarious, yo. It is hilarious. So today, they had a show came out. I think it came out yesterday or today or whatever, and they were talking about the whole OJ thing. So I wanted to bring that up. Like, we'll talk about that in a minute. But then they just shoot the shit, kind of like we doing right now. You know what I'm saying? And they talk about different topics, different anything that might be a wives' tale, or like, you ever heard the whole saying of you step on a crack, you break your mother's back?
Right. Yep.
Like, they will go through the process of talking about where that came from, like the history of it, like if there's anything that is real about it. We think that, like, just nonsense like that, right? Or the idea that, for instance, black people say, "What, you wash your chicken?" White people say, "Just pull that shit right out of the container and cook it." So, why is that a thing? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it's hilarious. The two dudes is comedians. The two dudes is comedians called My Mama Told Me, and they just talk about all kinds of nonsense. So I can't listen to it in the car with the kids because they curse and stuff like that. But when I get a chance to ride by myself, like today, I was cutting the grass, and so I listened to the episode. They were talking about OJ, and it wasn't a conspiracy this time. But they've talked about OJ on the show before, so they were talking about how OJ has been a topic of a lot of show topics over the years because
controversy,
of
all that.
All the stuff that he does. You know what I'm saying? Writing a book about, like, If I Did It, like creating a show that where he pulled pranks on people, and the pranks he pulled was like all about killing people and stuff like that. And so they were talking about, like, how big he was, not just for black people, but also in the world of comedy. Like, they gave, OJ has been a big source of comic relief over the years. So I thought it was just funny that I just thought about that today. So.
I remember, wasn't he in like Naked Gun or Airplane? One of those joints.
I think it was Naked Gun. He was in Naked Gun movies.
Okay. Yeah. I do remember that vaguely. Like I don't really remember the movie. I just remember seeing, or I got vision of him being in it. So that's all I remember.
So stuff like that. So it's good to just kind of turn your brain off and listen to some nonsense or do something that don't require you to do a whole lot of thinking, or something that's entertaining. You know what I'm saying? And I guess also technically my vice right now is cigars and whiskey. And so I like to do, a little whiskey, hunting, you know what I'm saying, bourbon hunting, like that's a thing. It's good and bad, right? Because when I get into some kind of collection, like collecting things, I like really get into it, probably more than any one person should, kind of thing.
A little too into it, John.
Yeah, I like to collect,
I will say, the one thing that I do still, do that's like that are movies. I have a large selection of movies that I will watch over and over again. A lot of times I'll wait, a few years, and it's like I haven't seen it in a long time, and I watch it. There's some movies that I used to watch like every year, like once a year. I would make sure I watched it. And then of course newer movies I try to watch. So that's my one thing, and I will say that most of the time it's me time, because my wife doesn't watch a lot of movies. She likes the safe movies, that won't have her mind running in all sorts of crazy directions, So like she doesn't like things
But wait, Mike, does your wife watch those true crime shows or those ones?
No.
She don't watch none of the ones with a wire snapped and stuff like that?
Nope.
No?
That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Like
okay.
If somebody's getting killed in it, in some strange manner, not just somebody defending themselves, she don't like that. Lots of movies and TV shows have things that happen to kids, and she doesn't like to see that. Of course, violence on women. So she likes safe stuff.
Okay.
That won't have her thinking crazy. So of course, most of the movies I watch aren't like that. So she's not watching those movies. Gotcha. My daughter is the only one left in the house, and she's usually all over the house. Can't really watch a lot of movies with her running around either. Mm-hmm. So even though that's my thing, I usually don't get to it until I'm supposed to be going to bed.
Right.
And because I need to be getting into bed, but now I have the room to myself, don't have a bunch of people running in and out, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and I'll watch, a movie sometimes. So but that would be my thing. That I still have, at least.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of me. I like movies too. I love movies.
Now, do you like certain movies or all kinds of movies? I like all kinds.
I mean, I will watch lots of different. I don't like drama. I don't like the not dramas. I like dramas. I don't like romantic comedies. I mean, you know what?
I like rom-coms.
No, I don't like rom-coms. I do not like rom-coms. I could live without them Jones forever now. But any other kind of movie, especially like psychological thrillers and like sci-fi movies and stuff like that, any kind of action movie, like give me a bad action movie any day. I will sit and I will watch that film. Like
same here.
I love a bad action movie. Like, ooh, that is horrible. Like that is the worst acting of all time. So.
Okay, I'm going to put myself out there. And I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, give it a try. Watch it with YVEV or something. It's a rom-com, and it's one of the movies that I have to watch at least once a year. Monster-in-Law, Jennifer Lopez, Jane Fonda. I don't know if you've seen it yet. But, Wanda Sykes. Wanda Sykes is in it too, and it's hilarious. Oh my god, Monster-in-Law. Yeah, it's her. Her mother-in-law is acting like a monster towards her, basically. So it's called Monster-in-Law. But it's J-Lo,
I might check
Fonda,
it out.
and Wanda Sykes are the main
I don't
female leads.
I don't know how I feel about J-Lo in the movie. I ain't really a fan of her in comedy.
Oh,
I don't know about that.
I love Jennifer Lopez movies, dog.
Yo, okay. This is a weird topic we about to go off on. But I like Jennifer Lopez movies.
Like Enough.
I have watched. I like Enough a lot, actually.
Yeah.
That movie. I don't know why, but I like that movie a lot.
Yes.
Even the one where they was the wives were like they made their own. Was that one? They made their own crew. The wives did or something like that.
I don't think I've seen that one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't think I've seen that one.
I think she was in
yeah, I don't know if Jennifer Lopez was in that one.
Maybe she wasn't.
She might have been.
It was like Alfred Witter was in it or something like that.
Okay. It's not one that I've seen.
She does some okay movies. She does some okay movies.
See, I gotta think now. You got me. Wedding Planner. That's a rom-com. That's good. But those action movies she did Enough. She did like 3 of them.
There was one recently called Mother. I never watched it.
That was a good one too. That was on Netflix. That was a Netflix movie. That was good too. But yeah, I like J-Lo as an actress. I watch her movies before I listen to a CD.
You know what they said is that if you listen close to all of her songs, like the ones that were the biggest hits were not her singing them. She didn't like sing the main parts of the songs. She always had another artist in the song with her. It was either Rihanna, it was Ashanti, it was somebody else singing in those songs.
Now, when you say biggest hits, though, is that biggest hits with Black audiences?
Nope, anybody. Even Jenny from the Block was not her sing. Even Jenny from the Block was not her singing Jenny from the Block. That was not her singing that part. She didn't sing that part.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There was another woman actually singing that part in that song.
Wow.
So like they basically said, this whole thing, this kind of a conspiracy, right? The fact that she is basically has become a major star because the Latin community needed a major female star. Not because she was actually a good singer. She's a good dancer.
Okay.
But you think about it, like what other major female stars are there? The only other one really that's more recent is Shakira.
Okay.
Like that's a crossover.
Yeah.
There weren't many of them, right? And both of them happen to be good dancers more than they was actually good singers.
And I was going to say, you kind of brought this up too. Selena. I've never seen Selena. Everybody keeps scoffing at me every time I say it because, the guys scoff at me because, she had the thick fatty in that joint. And then the ladies scoff at me just because it was a good movie. I still haven't seen it though. But that was where J-Lo got to start acting.
Right.
That's where she got to start acting.
And that was playing somebody else.
Yep.
So, I mean, as long as she didn't mess it up, you know what I'm saying? Like Selena was a big star. So
yeah, she was huge.
Having a biopic about her in general was going to do well as long as she ain't mess it up. So,
hey, let's talk about some other folks. I got this. 50 Cent. I don't know if you saw this, but he was giving his baby mama $500,000, $500,000 a year, $40,000 a month as child support, and that wasn't enough.
Not for her.
$500,000 a year. Now, not this is child support. This is not spousal support. This is not for you to live on. This is daggone child support.
But it wasn't child support in the sense that
$500,000 a year.
But it wasn't child support because he wasn't ordered to pay that.
Okay.
He was paying that. He gave it on his own.
Which is even worse, right?
Right. So he gave it on his own.
She said it wasn't enough. So he went to family court and said, let's let the court decide.
Right.
And the court gave her $6,000 a month. Almost $7,000.
You know why? Because on paper, he's broke. Rich people don't.
A lot of entertainers do that now.
That's right. Rich people
put everything in their mama name money, and everybody else's name.
Right. Well, and it's not liquid. Their money is not liquid. You know what I'm saying? He got his money tied up in different businesses and things like that, right? Like if you are making TV shows and you keep putting money into the TV show, then you writing that off as a loss, even though you're making money off of it.
Okay. That's
you know what I'm saying? You put rich people put their money in the business name. You can't take the business to child support. Right? You taking the man to child support. So whatever he choose to pay himself out of the business is all he got on paper.
Gotcha.
I see this all the time working with families applying for financial aid, right? Like families applying for financial aid. Like if they
does the same rule apply?
Yeah, absolutely. If you put your money back into the business, you can pay yourself out the business. You could say, you know, your business could gross over $600,000 a year, right? Let's say your business grows $600,000 a year. You choose to pay yourself $60,000 a year. Your income is $60,000 a year.
But the business gets to write that off too, right?
The business get to write that off. It's under LLC or whatever.
Yeah.
Inc, whatever.
It's an expense for the business. It's an expense.
Right. It's an expense for the business. So they get to write off your salary. They get to write off all their expenses. Like everything that happened with that business is separate from your personal situation. So your personal situation, they don't take you, you know what I'm saying? You a business owner, they don't take you to child support court or whatever the heck it's called. You know what I'm saying?
Family court. Yeah.
Family court. They don't get your money out the business. They get the money out the individual. They take out your check.
Wow. So yeah, that's how a lot of guys get. I think it became big news. I think someone recently, I want to say they were foreign, like Australian or French, and the guy basically didn't have to do anything because everything was in his mama's name.
Yeah.
Everything.
He was a soccer player.
Yeah.
Soccer player.
Okay, that's what.
Yeah, black.
It was recent. It was within the last 12 months, and yeah, he didn't have to do a daggone thing because all of his money was all his stuff was in his mama's name.
She couldn't get nothing out of him because he ain't have it. He don't have that.
That's crazy.
And that's where these chicks go wrong, right? Because they trying to get, you know what I'm saying?
One of the biggest
Kanye says
in human history.
Yeah, Kanye says 18 years, you know what I'm saying? You got it. He got you got him for 18 years, but if he could wrap his money up for those 18 years, you know what he could do? He could put the kid on payroll. Pay the kid. He could pay the kid. Write it off.
You think that's what Jay-Z and Beyonce are doing with Blue Ivy? She was on tour. They paying her. They paid her.
Shouldn't
she have gotten a salary for that?
I'm sure she does. I'm sure not only does she get a salary, she probably got to pay taxes. Blue Ivy probably paying taxes out there somewhere, but she don't make enough to like have to pay a whole lot of taxes. They just pay her enough to either, you know what I'm saying, allowance money. Essentially, you go out as a dancer on a tour. You live a lavish life because you're living off the tour money, but you're getting paid as part of the tour, so they write you off.
Yeah,
all that, man.
Okay.
She could matter of fact, she could take that pay and then just put it into a retirement fund and not even see none of it.
Not even touch it.
Then she don't even owe no taxes on it. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's in retirement.
Wow.
So, look, rich people know what to do.
rich people problems. I don't know anything about that stuff.
I mean, you gotta have a certain amount of money, obviously, to have rich people problems, and that money come along with being able to do things with it, like they put the house in her name. You know what I'm saying? They could put a house in her name, buy her a house. Did you hear about Bootsy?
Oh wait. I saw something about him. He has like a family compound.
Yeah.
With like
all his
four
kids,
houses.
All his kids got houses on the compound, right?
Yeah.
So
I watched that.
So think about it. You got to pay property taxes anyway, right? But now you have these other units on your property. You could say that you're charging the kids rent on it, right? They pay the rent. You say you're doing upkeep on the property. You cutting their grass. You paying the gardener to come out and do the grass. Write it off. It's all written off.
Wow, ain't that something?
They don't even have to have the houses. They don't even have to have the houses in their name, but the houses in their name give them a write-off.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
he if I remember right, he said that he was going to do it this summer. That all of them were going to just live in their own house, and they have to manage their own expenses, like buying their food, and he said he's testing them. I don't know what the total test is, but he was like, I'm testing them this summer. So
they can take care of responsibilities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But do it in a place
really
that's already there.
It's still safe. It's still safe. You know, it's not like they're going out to make some investment out in the world and it could, flip and go south on them. Right. You know, it's safe. It's a safe environment. I like that. I actually like it.
I mean, there's all kinds of things that I've been learning about, how people do it. You're saying you put it all, I think I mentioned this before on the show, you put it in a trust. You know what I'm saying? Everything is in a trust. That means that, like, it's a family trust. Remember when we went to Detroit, and they talked about how Barry Gordy's family, basically, they gave themselves loans out of money they all put together. That's how they started their business. Remember that? I don't know if you remember that from the tour.
Yeah, I do. Yep.
So the family members would go to the family, essentially the family bank, the family trust, family whatever, right? Yep. They would put money in.
Yep.
They would put money in, then they would request a certain amount of money out from it.
And it couldn't be more than they've put in, if I remember right.
Right.
Exactly. Like it wasn't like you were going to borrow something with interest and all that. You can only get back out what you put in.
Right. So now, what you got in there? You got money that's set aside for you, right? You know what I'm saying? You got money you can pull from if you want to start a business, something like that. You ain't got to go to the bank. It's already there for you. Like, yep. I mean, I think
you were talking about a time when they weren't lending money to us anyway. The main bank. So I mean, it was a really good setup.
Yeah,
it was a really good setup.
I mean, that's what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, and I might have mentioned this on the show before too. Like, one of the biggest mistakes my mother made when I graduated college and I moved back home is that she charged me rent and she spent the money. Like, imagine if she charged me rent, like Bootsy, you know what I'm saying? They got to pay their bills. You take care of your responsibilities so that you can do that. But what she do with the money is, instead of spending it, because she still got the bills for the house anyway, right? You put that money aside, and then when I get ready to leave, you gift it back to me.
Yep. That and a lot of folks do that. I've heard a lot of folks who do that. Yeah. So that would be cool. All right, look, we don't have a lot of time left, John. I don't know what else you want to hit, but I know there was a certain topic that I needed some information on. I was hoping that my Black Twitter, Black X, Black Thread Files guy was going to help me out. Okay. Please tell me you can. All right, so we've been doing this calendar, right? January was all about the tea and the talk was all about Cat. February, you had Usher, and Monique being on Shay Shay. Of course, last month it was the Diddy raids. Well, in April, damn it, Chris Brown.
Okay.
And this dude, which one was it? Offset?
Oh yeah, that's all. Yeah, you told. Yeah, Offset. No,
okay.
No, was it Offset? No, it was Quavo. Was it Quavo?
Quavo. That's it. Thank you. Yes, Quavo. It was Quavo. All right. So I need to know what the hell is going on because I heard the track that Chris Brown did, and he roasted Quavo. I mean, apparently, like, he just straight punched him in the mouth. Like, go sit down somewhere.
Apparently, Quavo came back at him with something. I haven't heard it yet.
No, but what started it? Why did Chris come at him like that?
I don't know.
Oh, you're supposed to know this stuff, John.
I don't know. I haven't had a chance to dive deep into it yet, but I can tell you this.
What's up?
Yo, these fools need to understand that, especially in the rap game, R&B world, you know what I'm saying? All of that. Though everybody knows the same people.
Okay.
They all hanging with the same people. And if you think back to like all the rap beefs from when we was growing up, you know how they found out all that stuff about people? They found it out because of a woman or a girl they knew growing up. They found out about it from friends that they knew growing up, and then they would bank that stuff. They would bank all that information about the people, and then they would hold on to it, and then they would be like, okay, now's the time. Like, I'm gonna put that picture out there of you wearing a tutu or you know what I'm saying, in dance class or whatever, because that's how they got the information. They got it all from people that the other people grew up with, because everybody running the same small circles. Like,
ain't that something?
Yeah, so I don't know how this came up, but if they all dating the same women, they both dated Sweetie or whatever.
Yeah, that's that. So that was the part of the song. That was actually part of the song because he was like, yeah, you said you got with my ex. So what? I got with your ex. Yeah. After we broke up,
y'all was still together.
I got with your ex while y'all was still together. I was like, man. I mean, he like I said, he just punched him in the mouth. I mean, and this is coming from an R&B singer.
Yo, Chris Brown always had bars. You know what I'm saying? He is from the DMV, technically from Virginia.
Yeah, no, he ain't. No.
Okay, he's from Virginia Beach.
He's from Tappahannock, which is way outside of the DMV.
Okay, but it's halfway between Virginia Beach area and DC area, so it's right in the middle. It's right in the middle. Okay.
Yeah. So those people could either claim DMV or they could claim, Hampton Roads, right?
Right. But the reality of it is that he's been in the game for a long time. Chris Brown, right?
Yes.
So they all running the same circles. You know what I'm saying? They all been to Diddy parties.
To be Quavo's dad. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why I want to know, what did Quavo do to set Chris off on him like that?
Yo,
I gotta research and find out from somebody.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I also don't remember how that whole thing started with Drake and remember who was that came out with that whole record about Drake having a secret baby?
Oh, snap! No, I don't know that. I know Drake's had beef with like a couple people over the years.
Yeah, and so
they keep coming for Drake.
Eventually, it came out that he did have a baby. I think his son name was Apollo or something like that.
Okay.
But like there was already talking about it before it came out. Like somebody did a whole diss track about Drake before anybody knew that the baby actually existed. and they mentioned that he had a secret baby, right? So it's stuff like that that's like, yo, I don't know what these dudes be talking about, but I know that they be talking too much.
Oh, like, and look, and so I did tell my wife this. I was like, if you listen to that track that Chris did, he came at him full throttle, but he still didn't hit him with everything, because in the first part of it, he was like, he mentioned a couple of things that was like, yeah, I got that T, but I ain't even going to talk about that.
Right.
So he didn't come full throttle, but I mean, he punched him in the mouth. Yo, and said, go sit down somewhere. Go sit down.
You got to go to a whole nother country and get you a chick. You can't be dealing with the same chicks that everybody is.
Eddie Murphy.
Go get you a woman that only speak French or only speak, you know what I'm saying, Swahili or whatever. Do something different. Don't be running and, you know, this is a PSA right here. PSA for all them dudes out there. Be careful who you get.
Eddie Murphy said that back in the 80s, John.
You running the you running
Eddie
the
Murphy said that back in the 80s. He said you can't mess with these American women. You gotta go to Africa, find some woman running around out in the bush, butt naked, and grab her and say, "Come on, that's gonna be your wife." That's the only way you're gonna get by.
And the key is she gotta be like, she gotta have no cell phone, no, like, because these days you can't even get with a chick from another country if she got social media. You know what I'm saying? Like she be on there like, I hooked up with Drake. I hooked up with you know, like it's crazy. It's crazy.
It is. Like, it is, dog. I couldn't imagine. Oh, so I wasn't able to get these statistics, but there are a lot of successful celebrity couples out there, more than we think, because the dish is always about, you know, the breakups, the messing around, the this and that. They don't publicize all the good relationships, but there are, like, I think I saw something on Snoop recently, who's been married with his lady for like 20 years. Ja Rule. I didn't even ja Rule was married. He's been married for a long time to his wife. Yeah, like 20 years.
Okay. But what the couples you're talking about right there, they spouse is not celebrity.
Okay.
That's different. Okay. Like even somebody like
hold on.
Somebody like Denzel. Oh, came in at 9 o'clock.
No. There's a knock at the door. What's up, Reasonable?
Sir? Hey, man. Please, PSA, get your affairs in order.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. I hear you. We were just talking about celebrity couples, man. We was talking about, and Mike was talking about how there's a lot of celebrity couples that are making it. And what I said to him
is they're under the radar, that are successful.
Yeah. But what I said is, I don't think those are celebrity couples. I think those where one person is a celebrity.
But even those don't work, John. Those are always getting heavy publicity too, when only one is a star, because they cheating and they doing this and that.
Yeah. And so those ones don't work. But I'm saying the ones that work is where both people are not the ones that I know of, right? Like, because let's be honest, Jay-Z and Beyonce is not couple goals. Their relationship is messed up. Like, he cheated on her. She did the song Lemonade or whatever, the whole album or whatever. And she stayed with him because it's convenient to stay with him.
Now, it's
convenient to stay with him.
Okay, hold on. So it's easy to say that, John. It's easy to say that. But you have to take into account there are lots of marriages where one partner, usually it's the man, you know, comes back, the woman forgives them, and they move on. You know, they're not serial cheaters. It was just a one-time thing, you know, whatever, and they still keep their marriage going. I say usually the men because women are quicker to forgive a man than a man is quicker than a man will forgive a woman.
You think they forgive?
It happens. Yes, it happens. They move on.
I don't think
Dog, I'm telling you, when I listen to stories about, and I'm not talking about our era now. I'm talking about like my grandparents, my aunts and uncles, my great aunts and uncles. There was all kinds of infidelity going on, and they stayed in their relationships.
You think they forgive?
They were having kids outside of marriage, but they still were together when they were 80.
Donnell, you think women forgive?
And happy.
I think women move forward, but they don't forget.
Okay. Yeah. I agree.
They're gonna make you pay for it. They're gonna make you pay.
But
it may not be monetarily. They're gonna make you pay though.
But is it so? Let's say, you know, in 1996 this happens. Now we're talking about 2040. They still together and things are good. I mean, what did it matter that in 1996 it happened and she roasted them or took them for whatever, when 30 years later, 40 years later, they're still good?
Because she's still bringing it up.
So wait. What's the context of this conversation? Because
it's all
I know I have my opinion about back then and today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which is why I wanted to make sure that that I said that, because I don't think that could happen as much. That my knowledge of people staying together, even though there was infidelity, and then it's still working and still moving.
It's a different time for the black being altogether. You know what I'm saying? Like back then, women didn't really have, you know what I'm saying, opportunities, you know what I'm saying, like high paying opportunities, you know what I mean? And men were like actual head of households. Whereas today you got boss women, you have me too movement, you know what I mean? Like it's different. And so, you know, when it actually took two people to be in a household, I feel like that's what it is. I mean, could you imagine a woman in the 1950s trying to make it on her own, trying to raise kids? It's not like today.
Right.
Okay.
I agree. She couldn't do it. And now they be like, I don't need no man.
But look, but here's the bottom. Here's the underlying tone of it, John. And to me, this is what I pull from it, at least. It worked. It worked. They didn't give up on it for whatever the reason, whether they had to keep it or whether it made for a better, household arrangement or what. It worked. And when they were 80 and 90 and dying, they were still together.
That's debatable. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you could say it worked outside looking in is because they stayed together. But like, I'm pretty sure like that woman probably felt like her light was dimmed every single time that man messed up. And it wasn't really nothing she could do about it.
Right.
Okay. I agree.
I mean, that was that was a lot of put my pride to the side. You know what I mean? Like that's what I call sacrifice.
Right.
And yeah, you're right.
Okay. And he paid. Trust me, he paid. And I don't care what no one did. He paid. Like she ain't leave, but I promise you, something happened to that dude.
It's almost like the justice system and the punishment system. I didn't want to use the other word because it was one Donnell's back. So the penalty system. You know, it where you serve your time, and that's supposed to be it, right? But is it?
You know,
I mean,
Mike,
you serve your time, but
Mike,
you're never the same. You're never the same citizen.
You know for a fact, without a shadow of a doubt, that there have been things that you said 10 years ago that your wife still be bringing up, and you be like, I don't even remember saying it.
Or things where I messed up, and I wholeheartedly messed up, that I'll still hear about every now and then. Yeah.
You could apologize. You could buy a gold, diamond, car, house, whatever. You still gonna hear about it. It ain't gone. It ain't over. But
that's not ruling my life. That might be something that pops up, once, maybe four. I'll say once a quarter, 4 times a year. Yeah, I still got 380 days that are.
Now you got 380 days. You over a year, sir.
Hold on. So, but that's 365. Okay, so I still got 350 days that are great.
So I mean, it sounds like whatever it is that pops up that's still like, what I'm saying, gets to the wife. You know what I'm saying? Like you've moved past it, but sounds like she's still hurt by it.
Yeah, and that's going to happen. I think that'll happen in any long-term relationship on both sides, because nobody's perfect. It's going to happen. There's going to be hurt. You cannot be the closer you are to somebody, the more you can get hurt by that person. It's just a fact of life. Because of that closeness, the hurt is that much greater.
Do you think that you have the ability? Like, seriously, do you think you have the ability to bring up old stuff?
See, you're going somewhere else. No, I could, but it's not going to be successful.
It's going to be a problem.
Right.
Yeah, but see, if he do that, like, listeners, I don't recommend it, because then, you know what I'm saying, it sounds like it really comes off as tit for tat, and women don't like that.
Women don't like that. That's true.
We don't either, for that matter. But we put up with it more.
We don't like it, but we don't have no. But if you did something wrong, you don't have no leg to stand on.
But to my point,
I mean, that's how I feel about
it. Those things that happen, again, out of 365 days in a year, or is it 365 and a quarter days a year? I'm only going to have to deal with something maybe less than 10. The other, like I said, over 300 days are good. So how are you measuring your year? Are you measuring your year by those 6 or 7 bad things, or are you measuring your year by that 380 good thing?
Depends on how bad the thing was.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it's
I can go there.
I truly believe it ain't equal. Like it ain't. There's nothing. Ain't no equal moments in that at all. Like, she gonna recall shit that you don't remember ever saying or doing, but you gonna be like, my bad, because you don't even want to. What'd you say?
That's that. What you call Luther Vandross song? Tomorrow song. I'd rather have 1,000 bad times with you than all these good times with somebody else.
You're right. and you gonna have 1,000. You gonna have 1,000 bad times. You gonna have 1,001 of them actually. And so I truly believe. Like, I mean, I think about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that people have to, like, cower themselves or like put themselves on the back burner for the person that they with in order for it to be a successful relationship. But I'm saying that the ones that I know the most, the ones that stand out the most to me, the Samuel L. Jackson, the Denzel Washingtons, you know what I'm saying? They spouse are not in the spotlight like that. Like, their spouses are not spotlight people as well. And there's a reason for that, because two reasons actually. Think about it. And you've heard Denzel Washington say this. I leave the party early.
I was just about to say that, John. Like the two, even though the spouse isn't spotlight, the two members that you named, Samuel L. Jackson and Denzel, they're not outside of acting. Like they're not the turn up.
Right. So they leave early. You know what I'm saying? They go home to their spouse. They don't even have to be at the party. They could have women throwing themselves at them anywhere.
That's
even
right.
today, right now.
You're right.
They can have that if they so choose. But what they have chosen is to live a life where they will go to those events, but they don't stay at those events. Because like I talked about earlier, before you came on, Donnie, I was talking about how all these people run in the same circles. Like whatever happened in one circle, it's gonna get to the next circle. You know what I'm saying? Like
Still hearing about it.
Because everybody's gonna hear about it. So why not just remove yourself from that altogether? There's a reason why Bruce Willis and Demi Moore didn't work out. And it wasn't just because one of them or the other of them was famous. It's because both of them were famous. They were running with the same group of famous people. And
Ashton Kutcher came along and put that thing on Demi.
and look what Ashton Kutcher done been through. Ashton Kutcher done been back and forth with Demi Moore. He done been back and forth with Mila Kunis. Whatever.
Is that who he's with now, or is he still?
Probably, I think he back with her. I think he's back with her. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you want to consider that to be a successful relationship,
no,
sure.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Like, and successful. Hear me out. Successful is not without damage. Successful is not without trauma, or hurt. Successful is just plain moving forward, like Donnell was saying earlier, and moving on from hurt, from trauma, because all that stuff happens. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your relationship is. Somebody or both of you are going to get hurt from time to time. Some of you or one of you or both of you are going to have to deal with something you don't like from time to time. It's natural. But success to me is moving on.
So Mike, if you accidentally cheated on your wife,
just slip and fall in it.
You think y'all can still be successful after that?
Okay. So let me say that it's not for everybody.
Yo, I'll be honest. I will be honest with you. I live in a
50-year marriages are not for everybody.
I live in a world of fear. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that one day there's gonna be some chick out there that's gonna be interested enough in me to pursue me. Mm-hmm. And I ain't gonna be able to be like, nah. I'm not gonna, and not because I'm gonna do nothing specific, but because it's just the idea. It's the idea of somebody else being interested enough in you, either because of what I got or not because of what I got, but somebody else who's interested enough in me that they gonna want to spend time in my circle. And that always
happens
enough.
When they provide something that you're missing or that you're lacking. That's how it always happens. That's how for men and for women. Somebody comes along and provides what you are missing or lacking.
Yeah. But here's the thing though. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying that you said it, but it sounded like you said it. But like, I don't think that there's, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can be everything for your partner.
You can't.
You can't be.
Yeah, you can't. It's Well, no, let me take that back. There may be a small percentage that can. There may be. I don't know, but it's not the norm. It is not the norm. No,
I don't think
it can't
it's
be everything for everybody.
I don't think it's possible.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they may make a lot of money, but they might not spend a whole lot of time at home. Right. You know what I'm saying? They may spend a lot of time at home, don't make a lot of money. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like there's always something.
Like think about it like this. You hear all these women who say they want a dude who got muscles, you know what I'm saying, who can lift them up. Right? But I promise you, these niggas who out here lifting weights all day, they ain't successful. You can't. I heard somebody say something once, and I thought this shit is so true. You know who the type of people who become trainers? Type of people who become trainers are the type of people who are built a certain way already, and they want to keep that up. And so what they do is they say, hey, you know what? I got a slim physique, you know what I'm saying? I got muscles, whatever. I want to keep that up. So what am I going to do? I'm going to find me a job where I can work and work out. I can work out. I could tell other people that they need to work out and be better. Hey, John, make you successful.
Hey John, don't forget the part where like some of these bodybuilders or people that work out a lot, they was probably bullied when they was younger.
You're right.
That too.
You're right. They was too skinny, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And so they might be successful in the, and again, success is relative. Success is relative.
Right.
But they not gonna have a whole lot of money. You can't tell me that you ever met a dude who take creatine and work out 8 hours a day who rich. It don't work that way. You get rich, then you might get muscles like Dr. Dre, but he wasn't that way at first. He had to get the money first, and he done had many a bad relationship.
I'm about to say he not perfect.
Yeah,
right. So you can't have it. You can't have it all. Yeah. And anybody who tells you, anybody who got a laundry list of things that they want in a mate in a relationship, you know what I'm saying, and they until they get that, they gonna keep looking. Then they gonna end up being them women that you talked about earlier, Mike, that is alone and living a long life of loneliness because they waiting for some special dude to come along who got, you know, who making $1 million teaching people how to lift weights. That ain't happening.
Hey man, I'm still sold on love is a choice.
I agree.
Explain it.
Like you choose to make good choices. You choose to, you know, be present, be happy in your relationship, no matter what you go through. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to, you know, get trapped in meeting someone who, you know what I'm saying, who presents the things that you feel like you're missing. You know what I mean? And, you know, and I always say this, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that person may make you feel differently or feel good, but you're not in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? You're not in a relationship with them. You know what I mean? So, you know, you have to choose to be happy in your marriage, or, you know, you got to choose to be, you know, happy with yourself.
So, you know, I've always differed on that. Well, I don't want to say different, but I only put half of that. I do feel like love is a feeling, but at the same time, love is an action. To what you're saying, Donnell, like I feel like you can have these feelings of love, but you have to also make the choice to harbor that, to fertilize that, to, you know, cultivate it. You know, you have to make choices to build it. But I think it does start as a feeling.
So, so here's the thing about the action, right? Like I feel like I've also heard someone say to me, I gave it my all, but it didn't feel that way. And it may have been the action piece that was missing for me.
Okay.
Like I said, it's a choice, right?
Words, but no action.
She may feel like, she gave it her all, but I didn't feel like she gave it any action.
Right. Because her definition of her all is based on her, right? That's what she feels, right? And so you have to make a decision. You got to make a choice whether that who she is and how she chooses to love you is enough for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be enough for you? And if you make that choice based on the situation on the decision that it's based on your ability to either be selfish or not, right? Because you can be selfish and say, well, I need all of it. I need it all. And if I need it, you know what I'm saying? If I need it all.
Was it swallowed too?
I might need that too. I might need her to swallow. Anyway. But
she just needs to take it all though, huh?
But if she not, you know what I'm saying? If that's not what I'm getting out of it, like if I don't feel that way, then my selfishness is going to kick in. I'm going to be like, well, this, so and so over here is doing what she not. She might feel like she giving her all to it, but I have to make a decision. Is what she's giving, is that enough for me? And if it's not, am I willing to break that thing up to get somebody else that may or may not give that to?
Okay. So, and this is what I was thinking, Donnell, just real quick. Before I got married, I went through a lot of relationships because I didn't necessarily like being single. I like being in relationships, but I never liked putting in the work, I guess, that it, needed to be in a relationship. We even talked, before marriage. So I feel like I've been in love a few times. I think where the separation is coming that I'm thinking right now, just right now thinking about it. I may have felt the love and fell in love with a few, but I didn't put in the work and the like I said, the cultivation to keep it, and I end up having to move on because the love would fizzle out. So again, I feel like it starts as a feeling.
So, but why
you have to cultivate?
It starts as lust. It starts as lust. You know what I'm saying?
Does it always?
Why does it fizzle out?
Because it did start as lust for me a lot of times. I won't lie.
Why did it fizzle out? Because neither one of y'all did the work. None of y'all made the choice to do the work to make it last.
Right.
That's why they say, oh, you know what I'm saying? Always, you know what I'm saying? In marriage is always work. You have to make these choices.
Right.
To, you know what I'm saying, be happy in your marriage, be happy with yourself. I mean, but that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like, as I'm thinking about some of my situations, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's the, in fact, you know what I'm saying? So for me, like a lot of men are visual. So yeah, it's the infatuation. But what is it after that? You know what I mean? When you start dealing with them, they're not the same person who they, you know what I'm saying, you met, in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like you could choose to move with them, or you could choose to, you know what I'm saying, go your seperate ways.
Let's say
go ahead,
yeah,
Don.
go ahead. No, go ahead, Don.
No, I mean I'm just saying, like, people are, I don't know, when you say love, like when I think of love, you know what I'm saying? And when I say making a choice, like you choose to be and deal with that person's flaws.
Right.
That's love.
That okay. Yes. I agree with you. That's not something I would have seen, in my 20s. You're right. But yeah, you choosing to love somebody through their flaws, it's that choice, and that builds it builds trust,
Mm-hmm.
and So I agree with you. I agree with you. And I think that's what's missing now in this generation. Is people are not willing to deal with a person's flaws.
Well, people have these deal breakers. I mean, but at what point do you know what I'm saying? It's almost like, if you're not going to change, why do I have to deal with it? But that's just it. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, you have to choose to be okay with who you're with.
Right.
So I will say
they're not going to change, homie.
I will say
the next chick, also the next person that you with, also gonna have something that you don't. I mean, okay, let's be honest.
The grass is greener. What was the saying is, the grass is greener on the other side, but that shit needs to be mowed too.
So so to your point,
you gotta keep up that lawn too.
So to your point, like I feel like sometimes when the second or even the third spouse, you know what I'm saying, actually works for them, like I feel like one, it may not have been for you, or it just could have been timing. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, and you should grow from previous relationships, and the things that you didn't do in your past, you probably do now because of your experiences.
Okay, that's life. Yeah,
I tell you what, I ain't doing it again. I know you and Ty, y'all. I ain't doing it again. If I can't, I will be alone. I live till I'm 112 and be like, you know what I did? I let that shit go. It didn't work out.
Let me tell you something, John. You say that. Well, I ain't gonna say that. You say that now. I'm not gonna say that because I
don't put that out there.
However,
right?
However,
no mojo.
When you get old and you need somebody in your corner, and you know what I'm saying, you gonna wish you had somebody that can stick with you through it all.
Through mud, through dirty ass sickness, mud,
and in health.
Hey, bro. And I get that piece of it. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying what I am saying.
Could you imagine? Hold on, John. Before you make that statement, could you imagine being in a hospital or in a nursing home every day and nobody came to visit you?
Nobody came to visit you. That is the hardest thing. That's the thing that I probably, if I had to pick a fear, first off, I fear getting old, and I've been getting old every year. And so it's happening. You know what I'm saying? I can't undo it, right? I had to embrace getting and this has been a fear of mine for a long time, right? And I've just had to embrace it my whole I embrace it every year, right? I prefer not to embrace it with a birthday party or people remembering I don't care about that. It's happening. I had to embrace the fact that I turned gray. You know what I'm saying? And I could have shaved it all off, and not nobody would have known. I could have Beijing that junk, but whatever. but the reality of it is, I made a choice. The choice was, it is what it is. But if things go completely left in my relationship, and we are not together because we can't see past the fact that we will never be everything for each other, right? If that's the reason why it's not working out, it's not because I messed up, because I cheated, whatever. We can't get to a place where we understand that the flaws are going to be the flaws, right? If that happens and we break up, I don't have time left to rebuild
I got you.
that kind of thing with somebody else. I don't
see, John, but that's just it. There is somebody who can very well see past your differences. But that same person, you know what I'm saying? You might not like the way her fart smell. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, nah,
you know,
I got you. So
you're
I'm gonna say
probably
this.
right. You're probably right.
I'm gonna say this. Because I lived it, I am a proponent of being friends, being true friends before getting married, versus just meeting somebody, going through a relationship and not really truly being friends. When you're friends, that's when, without all of the pretense, that's when you learn that person. That because you know who that person is, because there's no investment in there.
So I say tread light. Tread lightly with that. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like I've heard that too. You know what I'm saying? Like get to know the person, blah 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 blah. But I met someone. Well, I ain't gonna say I met her. I know someone who married her friend, and they are now getting a divorce. And it's so emotional for her. Well, I ain't gonna say not. I'm sure it has a lot to do with the divorce, but like at the same time, she feels like she's, losing a friend.
Okay.
I mean,
I can see that. I can see that happening.
You know what I'm saying? What's the Deborah Cox had a whole song about that. You know what I'm saying? Her and the dude from Blackstreet.
RL or something, yeah.
We can't be friends.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still in love with you. Right. You can't that's hard. That's hard.
Yeah,
and I get it. Like you wanna, you could find somebody who, and I will, if it came to that. If that was the situation, I will have friends. Maybe.
You know what, John?
If I choose to have friends, I don't know if I
want
friends.
Like I ain't gonna say I've always, but you know what I'm saying? I think the one thing that I'm scared of about dating a friend is the, are you now able to switch from being friends to being intimate? You know what I mean? Like, is it awkward? You know what I mean? Is it, I don't know. Like when you friends, you free to do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Because that's just my friend.
Right.
But like now that we together, are you still talking to Johnny? You know what I mean?
So
are you still able to go have a drink with? Because we're
to that point.
I'm assuming your circle is all the same.
Right.
So
I don't want my girl going to Mike's house talking about some, you know what I'm saying, waiting on you.
Yeah, no, I got you there. I definitely get you there. Like, so my wife and I, we started out dating first, right? And then we broke up. We remained friends though, so we ended up over, and then we dated again like a couple years later and broke up again, still remained friends. So it started, to Donnell's point, I guess you could say I started with the lust because, I went after her, and whatever, we started a relationship. But over the next 10 years, we developed this wonderful friendship too, and we worked together. She was doing her thing, I was doing my thing. When I asked my wife to marry me, both of us had to let go of the circle that we were in because neither of us, we were in a friendship mode. I was when I asked my wife to marry me, I probably had 2 or 3 other girls, that I was dealing with constantly. She may have had a couple that she was dealing with constantly, but I realized that I wanted to marry her, and I asked her. It was a surprise; she didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So I think that kind of goes to your point, Donnell. I mean, things happen like that, But in the long run, we were who was supposed to be together. So. I guess it's different strokes for different folks. Maybe it's like that.
I will say this: this has been a good conversation. We done blew way through the time.
Yes, sir. I keep looking at the time, but I'm like, yeah.
we done blew way through the time. But I appreciate this conversation. I mean, I hope to never have to experience that piece of it, and I hope, that chick never come along who can do the extra things that my wife ain't doing, because I'm telling you, it's my fear. I got fear. I got all kinds of fears, and the last thing I need is some chick to come along. She don't care that my hair is gray. She don't care that I got bad vision. She don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the last thing I need. Like,
you gotta just don't even worry about all that. You focus on what you have. Don't even worry about what somebody else may like. You know what your wife likes. You
can be like this dude. I would eat John. I'm gonna pray about it if she come over.
Bro, look.
I've had some situations, man, in my life. I have, and I will say wholeheartedly, I'm glad I'm married, and I hope to stay married until I die, because married life to me is so much better than the single life. To me, all the problems.
I ain't been single for a long time, so I'm gonna say I don't know no better.
Yeah.
I'm single every
all
other day.
The problems be in it, all the mishaps, everything. I would rather spend my day with my wife, or make go to bed knowing my wife is beside me than anybody else. That's so. But hey, look, Donnell, I would be remiss if I did not point out. Did you get a haircut?
Nope.
He got a slick back. He a pimp named Slickback.
You done cut off all your hair down there.
What'd you say?
You cut off all your hair, man?
Yeah, starting over.
Because you've been rocking that for a minute.
Doing something different. I had to cut it down to do something different.
Okay.
It's like a whole new canvas, huh?
What about your son? Because I know both of y'all had the same haircut for a minute.
Yeah, nah, he still got his joint.
Okay.
I'm about to get gray locks like my son got locks with gray locks.
I wish I still had hair. So my hair doesn't grow up top anymore, in the back and up top. But oh yeah, there you go, down there. That's but I used to change my hairstyle like every couple months. Like I cut it down, then I would let it grow out, and I would just throw different styles as it's growing out until I had like a huge fro. I'd rock that for a minute, then I cut it off and start over. And that was my cycle until one day I started losing it all.
Till it cycled out. Till that joint was like,
till it cycled out.
Hey,
yes.
That joint went on, and when it protested, it started protesting.
He was Becky with the good hair.
Your hair started protesting. It was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I used to love my hair. If it's one thing that I miss, I'll take the bad dad body and all. I miss having a full head of hair, being able to grow it out, cut it, grow it out, and cut it. I miss that the most. So, anyway, life stories tonight. All right, if anybody's still watching, because we're way past time, tune in, of course, every Tuesday night at 8:00. We're here. We may be talking about this. We may be talking about that. I still need to find out what Quavo did to set off Chris Brown like that. But tune in to us, man. We're here. Holla.
All right.
Peace.
I gotta hit the button too.